As most of Team Z's abilities awaken, they finally manage to equalize the game with a 3-3 draw with about 20 minutes remaining on the clock. It seemed almost impossible at first, but with Chigidi's goal, they were closer to their dreams. One more goal, and Team Z would successfully enter the next stage. The ball lands at Mikage's feet, who's shocked by the fact that the worst team in Blue Lock is actually competing with them, and with 10 men at that. He remembers his past and how his parents always treated him like a baby, spoon-feeding him everything. He wanted to do something on his own strength, and that was football. Nobody would take that from him. However, when he looks around, he sees no space that he can utilize. His team is just as shocked as he is, and there seem to be no attacking options. At this rate, they would lose. Nagi, who's by the post waiting for the ball to arrive, notices Mikage's sad and dejected face. Suddenly, something clicks in him as well. It's like his abilities had finally awakened. He realizes that if he does nothing, their team will lose, and it would be the first time that they would suffer a loss. Earlier, he didn't care what happened, but suddenly his passion for football is ignited by the idea of losing. Uncharacteristically, Nagi drops back and asks for the ball from Mikage, who passes it to him. This comes as a shock to the whole of Team Z. Nagi has never done this before, and it's made it easier for them to defend. But now that he's in the game, both attacking and helping out defensively, Team Z may get overwhelmed. Nagi races with the ball and dribbles past one defender after another. He dribbles past Igamura with a cheeky lob, and then passes the ball square to Tsugiri on the flank. To everyone's surprise, Tsugiri has a head start this time and beats Chigiri in the race to the ball. He looks up to see Nagi asking for the ball in the penalty area. Tsurugi is surprised because Nagi usually never takes the initiative or even asks for the ball, but he passes it to him anyway. The ball floats into the box, and Nagi receives it at a very tight angle. Surely he wouldn't be able to score from there, everyone thinks. Yet Nagi not only takes the ball with grace, but also manages to score an absolutely fantastic goal. The game turns on its head once again, as Team V takes the lead 4-3. The one thing that Isagi and Team Z couldn't afford, the awakening of Nagi, has happened. And with only 15 minutes left on the clock, there's no time for them to stand back and defend anymore. Team Z and Isagi have to attack. After the kickoff, Bachida gets the ball from Isagi and charges forward, while Isagi keeps thinking about how he can influence the game. With one man down and a goal down, it would be impossible to come back if they concede yet another goal. He keeps thinking about how he can use his spatial awareness to change the course of the game once and for all. And just then, he figures it out. Chigiri receives the ball on the left flank, again from Bachida. He tries the same trick of outpacing Tsurugi and manages to get ahead of him. But this time, Nagi is there to defend as well. Thankfully, Isagi intercepts the ball before it can reach him. With his new ability unlocked, he's able to spot a weakness in the opposing defense and position himself to exploit it. He then looks around and makes a pass back to Chigiri, who cuts inside to make a shot. The shot is blocked, but it falls to Gagamaru, and yet again the ball is blocked by the defenders. Finally, the ball falls at a perfect range for Kunigami. He places a perfect shot to the roof of the net, and the game is yet again on equal terms. Isagi cheers in happiness as he's finally been able to unlock his ability, and the goal had gone just as he had planned. Using his ability, he can now see into the future for brief moments with all the positioning around him and the way the ball moves. Isagi can see how the goal can be made and how the opponents can be outmaneuvered. Everyone on Team Z is happy, all but Kuon, who doesn't even know how he should feel. At the moment, with Team Z drawing the game, he knows he's going to be the top goal scorer. But was it worth it? He remembers back to when he was in school and had barely managed to form a team to play football with. Even though his team was weak, he carried them to the regional quarterfinals with the hope of one day playing for the national team. But he didn't realize that his teammates didn't share his ambition. Ultimately, they lost, and that was when he finally came to the realization that his teammates didn't have the same ambition as him. And ever since then, he's worked for himself. However, now he doesn't know if that's something he wants to strive for, or if that's the type of person he wants to be. 5 minutes left in the game, and this time, Team V is planning to play from the back. However, instead of making a short pass, Tsurugi notices Nagi's run and makes a long pass. Nagi races to the ball, and Isagi is hot on his heels. He knows that if he can get past Nagi, Nagi has no option but to pass the ball to the other flank, and in doing so, Isagi can hold on until his other defenders arrive. However, just like Ronaldo, Nagi uses his back to pass the ball to himself, and with no other defenders in sight, he's clear to the goal. This is it. Just then, Nagi feels a thud and a set of arms around him, pushing him. It's Kuon, tackling him to the ground. The whistle sounds. Kuon gets a red card and is sent off the field. He doesn't know why he did it, but he tells the team to win as he leaves. 3 minutes left on the clock. Mikage then prepares to take the free kick. It's in a good range, but he probably would pass the ball to his teammates. However, Lemon, the keeper, understands that this is blue luck. Mikage would most definitely try to score the goal himself. Lemon predicts correctly, as the ball is launched towards the top right corner. He makes a massive save. But the loose ball rolls towards Nagi. He dribbles past a few defenders and chips the ball towards the goal. As Isagi holds his breath, wishing for a miracle, it arrives in the form of Gagamaru, who makes a lunging dive to push the ball to Isagi's feet. The counter is now on. Isagi races with the ball, and he has 3 teammates by his side. With most of the Team V members back in their half, it would be an easy goal. However, Isagi knows that the skills possessed by the members of the team would make it difficult, so he keeps moving the ball around among his teammates as they race towards the goal. A final sideways pass. He plays the ball to Kunigami to make a long-range shot. However, Tsurugi manages to catch up to him and makes a sliding tackle. The ball is now headed out of bounds, and with only seconds remaining in the game, if it goes out of bounds, the game will be over. Thankfully, Raichi slides in and manages to save the ball from going out. He passes the ball to Bachida, who notices 3 of his teammates headed into the opponent's box. 2 of them are marked, but Isagi is free, heading to the back post. Isagi is hoping to get the ball at the back post to score, and Bachida, as planned, makes the pass to him. As the ball approaches and Isagi prepares to shoot, he realizes that Nagi has already arrived to cover him. Nagi cuts in front of him to confuse him. Suddenly, Isagi has no idea how he can outmaneuver this. The once visible goal just fades away. Should he take a touch? Pass to a teammate? He's confused. Suddenly, he has no idea what to do. Just then, he remembers all his goals and puts the pieces back together. His forte in shooting is direct shots without any touches. As Nagi approaches him from behind to startle him, Isagi slams the ball into the back of the net, winning him and his team the game, 5-4. Team Z celebrates as the final whistle blows, and they've qualified for the next round of Blue Lock. Team V and Mikage look in shock, as they've just lost to the poorest team in the whole building. They're determined to do better. Everyone celebrates, as Kuon looks on. Kunigami goes to call Kuon into the celebrations as well, but Raichi reprimands him and punches Kuon to the floor, calling it even. And it's apparent that the team has already healed their differences, and there's no bad blood between them. That night, Bachida and Isagi are in the dining room, discussing the new abilities that they've unlocked, and Isagi claims to have gained even more knowledge of the game after the last match. Just then, they hear a large group of players heading out of Blue Lock. They all sound sad and broken after their dreams of becoming players in the national team were now destroyed. Isagi and Bachida pause for a moment and ponder how their dreams had broken the dreams of several others. However, this doesn't make them sad. Rather, it motivates them even further. They also meet Nico, who had survived as the top scorer of Team Y. The man seems determined to win after his team lost to Team Z, and claims that he will destroy Isagi next time. Isagi smiles and tells him to bring it on. The next day, Ego appears on the big screen once again. and tells them that before the next level begins, they will all do a bunch of physical training without the ball. He states that since they are the bottom of all 5 buildings, they will have to do this training until the first building's elite players finish the state-of-the-art training that they were assigned, in lieu of competing for selection. Despite being reluctant at first and eager to get on to the second selection, the whole crew begins the harsh training, and it continues for 10 long days. It's then announced that the first selection is over, and the players are instructed to get ready and proceed to the building's central basement. Isagi and the others are eager to play against the other teams. However, they're shocked to see the other players, who are 237th in rank, from Team X and Team W. Ego appears on the screen and remarks that although they've undoubtedly already noticed, only Building 5 is present in Blue Lock, which accounts for the absence of players from Buildings 1 through 4. Up until now, he had lied to them to make them believe that they were bad and fight ferociously for the initial pickup. All of this was a ploy to undermine their dubious self-assurance and instill in them a desire to be the best in the world. Ego announces that for the second selection, they will have to enter the field one by one. Team Z huddles up one last time, wishing each other luck and promising to meet on the other side. Suddenly, Rin Itoshi casually shoots a curveball and then hits it with another, leaving Isagi stunned at his skills. Rin walks to the door and enters first into the second stage tests. The others wonder if they know him. His name sounds familiar. Isagi follows him. Isagi walks down a small tunnel and finds himself in a field. A holographic Blue Lock man stands in goal, and Isagi is sent a ball from the wall beside him. A red circle appears and starts closing around him, prompting him to shoot from within it. Isagi misses a hurried shot, but then realizes this is the next test and starts making better shots. As soon as he scores the first goal, a timer of 90 minutes appears, in which he has to score a total of 100 goals. The challenge becomes even harder after the first 30 goals, as the timer doesn't reset and he has to continue scoring goals with hologram defenders present as well. Soon, the challenge gets even harder, as the balls thrown at him are no longer at the desired pace, and the defenders start moving as well. However, Isagi enjoys the challenge, and after that 10-day physical training, he has plenty of stamina to adjust himself and find a good rhythm at the test. He soon finishes the challenge and heads to the new room, which already has a bunch of competitors who had passed the challenge just like him. Moments later, Bachida also enters the place, and they are both happy to see each other. They are then told by Ego that in order to enter the next stage of the test, they need to form a group of 3. Bachida and Isagi decide to wait for Kunigami and Chigiri and take into their team whoever comes first. Suddenly, Isagi is approached by Nagi, who invites him to join Mikage's team. Mikage is taken aback by Nagi's decision. Nagi explains that Isagi was the most remarkable player in their game and that he wants to play football with him. Isagi refuses, claiming that he's on a team with Bachida. To all of their shock, Nagi then asks to be in his group instead. Mikage, frustrated, is taken even further aback, but accepts it after realizing how serious he is. The decision is all up to Isagi, and even though he wanted to wait for his friends, he knows that Nagi is the best player he knew, so he decides to take him into their team. The 3 of them head to the next level of the test. Inside, they find Rin Itoshi, Jubei Aryu, and Aoshi Tokimitsu, the 3 top players in the whole of Blue Lock, according to their new ranking. They seem to be the best of the bunch and are confident that they can win against anyone who comes their way. Once again, Ego appears on the screen to explain the rules of the next matchup. The third stage is a 3-on-3 minigame in which a Blue Lock man serves as the goalkeeper. Whichever team scores 5 goals first wins. The victorious team then steals a player from the losing team to make a 4-man squad. The fourth stage is then a 4-on-4 match. The winning team once again steals a member to create a 5-man squad. The newly formed 5-man team then clears the 5th stage and passes the second selection. The losing 3-man team becomes a 2-man squad and competes against another 2-man team. The player who is not chosen from the losing 2-man squad will be disqualified. The rules are announced. They can pick anyone to be their opponent as long as the opponents agree to play against them. This news gets Isagi and his crew excited, but the other group doesn't seem to care. They seem to be super confident, and this flares something up inside of Isagi. He walks up to them and challenges this best of the bunch to the 3-on-3 matchup. Thank you for sticking until the end. Subscribe for more videos like this.